how you guys doing? Welcome to Kitchen Snack Stadium. My name is Chef Matt, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do honey Denanche wings. Basically, I have my setup here. We got some chicken wings, got a little bit of flour, got some garlic powder, cornstarch, and just a mixture of salt and pepper. So first things first, garlic powder. I like to do about maybe 5 pinches of garlic powder. You can do a little bit more if you want that real crazy garlic flavor. And cornstarch here also. Cornstarch is going to make your chicken wings extra crispy. Right, and salt and pepper. Maybe about 3 pinches of salt and pepper. You don't want it too salty because we're going to be making a sauce later for it anyway. Okay, when that's all mixed up, just grab your whisk. If you don't want to get your hand dirty, just whisk it up a little bit. Make sure it's all mixed good. Alright, now when you dredge stuff, general rule of thumb, you have your dry hand and you have your wet hand. You don't want to throw all your chicken wings at one time. You don't want to do both hands. It's going to get clumpy, it's going to get gross, it's going to get dirty, you're going to have flour hands. So, just get a few chicken wings. I like to just maybe like 3, 4, 5 at a time, just depending. Mix it up, dredge it, shake off the excess. You just put it in a container for later. Alright, so now that we dredged the chicken, I'm just going to take it over here to the stove. You already have oil that's been preheating in a pot. And since I don't have a deep fryer or a thermometer, what I like to do is just turn it up to high. Get it to a nice good temperature and then just drop it down to kind of like a medium high, just so when you're frying it'll constantly keep the temperature. Your chicken won't burn and it'll taste beautiful. Oil should be hot enough. Let's get to frying. And fry time will always be different just depending how big your chicken wings are. These are pretty massive, so I'm gonna say give about 10 minutes. And since some of the chicken wings might not be totally submerged in the oil, what you're gonna have to do is just check on it every few minutes, and you might wanna just flip them every about 3 minutes. And when you're frying, especially if you don't have a deep fryer using a pan, it's important that you don't crowd the pan. When you crowd the pan, it's not going to cook evenly, you might lose some heat. Alright, so now that the chicken is frying, I'm going to show you guys how to make the honey Denanche sauce. So first things first, garlic. You're going to need garlic. And I have a little trick that I like to do with garlic, especially fresh, make it easier to peel. What I did was I went ahead and I already just cut off the bottom. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and break it apart, just like you would your regular garlic. It's okay if all the extras are in there. And what I have is just a simple bowl of water. And what I like to do is just take all that garlic and just throw it in there. And go ahead and let that sit for about 5 minutes. And what it does is actually makes the skin easier to peel. All right, now we're gonna move on to the second ingredient, fresh ginger. And if you've never worked with fresh ginger before, it's not that intimidating, but there's an easy way to peel this. What I've learned is just this. You just get a spoon and just go ahead and start rubbing it down. So for the ginger, you probably won't need too much. I guess it's maybe all on your personal preference. If you like a lot of ginger, the more power you. Cut that sucker up and put it in. We're almost done here. Alright. Trash them to the side with my spoon. Alright, so what I have is just a simple chef knife and tips on how to cut. Like you see everybody cut on TV shows in the kitchen. It's easy. Do not hold it by the handle. It's easy. Just hold it by the hilt. You have more control of your knife, you won't cut yourself. All I'm going to do is just cut it in half first. And what I like to do, just to make it easier, cut off a thin strip, cut on one side, so that way it's flat. That'll make it easier to stand up, won't roll around, you have less chance of cutting yourself. So just cut little thin strips like this. Oops. So now that you have your strips all cut up, what I like to do is just cut it into like a little bit of a julienne, which is just thin strips, kind of like this. Alright, just keep on doing it to all of your ginger. So what you're going to want to do is after that, just kind of gather it all up into one bunch and just run your knife across it again. Just making little dices, man, little nice tiny squares. Now since the ginger is raw, it's going to have a really, just this crazy, strong, pungent flavor. Alright, now that we have the ginger all cut up, what I like to use, I usually just use my knife to scoop it up, but if it's more comfortable for you guys at home, just pick up the cutting board, just slide it into your bowl. Alright, so now that the garlic's been sitting for about, give or take 10 minutes, we'll go ahead and start peeling them. Like I said, when you soak it in water for that long, then it just makes it easier to peel. As you can see, the skin's just coming off easy. You don't need to crush it with your knife so your garlic gets all messed up. For this recipe, I'll probably do about 2 nice cloves of garlic. For the garlic, basically, I'm going to cut it the same way that we're cutting the ginger. But this one, the cool thing about the garlic is already has a flat side yet, so you don't need to have to cut that. But just cut into strips again. And what I like to do is toss it over, cut it again. Same thing, a little bit of strips. And I don't know about you guys, but I love fresh garlic on wings. Have you ever had killer like Parmesan garlic wings? Garlic fries, especially at a football game. See that? Just rough chop it. You do the same thing with this one. Just cut in strips. Now you could do your garlic like this. You could use fresh garlic, or you can use the garlic that's already minced up in the jar. It's all on you. I kind of like the taste of the fresh garlic a little bit better. So once again, just mince it or just do it to give it like a little rough chop. Alright, same thing again. Lift up your board. Slide the garlic into the mixing bowl with the ginger. Alright, so now that we have the garlic and the ginger chopped up, we have it in the bowl already. I'm gonna go ahead and break down all the other ingredients. So first of all, a little bit of soy sauce. I'm gonna take this. And depending on you guys again, on what your flavor palette is, you know, the more soy sauce you put, it's gonna be salty. So I kind of like just to put maybe around, let's say about half a cup, give or take. That should be about half a cup. All right, next up, just got a little bit of sesame seed oil. Now this stuff is pretty strong, so you might not want to put too much. You want to put just a little bit to kind of give it that hint of sesame, you know? And sesame seed oil is great, man. You could use it in all sorts of things. You could cook it with your eggs, cook it with your tapas, anything. Next up, we got a little bit of rice vinegar. So just for a little bit of tartness, you know, because traditional buffalo wings, man, like that buffalo wing sauce is nice and tart, a little buttery. So this is where we're gonna get that tartness from. Go ahead, just do a little bit. About 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. All right. And a little bit of honey. Basically the honey we're going to put in here, it's going to balance everything out. Kind of cut that saltiness from the soy, kind of mellow out the acidity from the vinegar, and it'll just kind of just make it all smooth, but you'll still get these beautiful layers of flavor in there. So for the honey, just do a little bit, about maybe 2 tablespoons again. Should be good. And the star, Denanche. And here's about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little bit more. But right here, as you see, I got my little whisk. Go ahead and dump all this Denanche into here. Alright, show you guys what it looks like in the bowl. Let's get to it. And just kind of whisk it up. Might be a little bit hard just so that honey sticks to the bottom. So when you're whisking, you want to make sure you kind of scrape that bottom a little bit. Alright, so like I said before, I'm just going to reiterate one more time, this is pretty spicy. And if you're not down, that's fine. You can go ahead and maybe cut back. We do 1 teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon. It's up to you how hot you want now. Alright, so if it's too hot, and even if you cut back on the peppers, all you can do is just keep whisking and add a little bit more honey. That sweetness should also help cut out that fire. Alright, so now that the wings are done frying, they're GBD, golden brown and delicious. They're all crispy. We have our sauce made. What I'm going to do is just take a spoon. Just mix it around one more time, just in case any of that honey comes and settles back at the bottom, and you don't want like a chunk of honey in your wings. Just take a spoonful. It's up to you on how much you want to put. I just like to glaze it a little bit around. And get those nice chunks of garlic and ginger in there. Okay. And then, if you know how to do it, just wiggle it around. Just do a little bit of toss. Slightly toss. It's all going to stick to the bottom, so when you toss, you just want to make sure that the chicken picks up that juice, gets coated. If you're not comfortable with that, just get your tongs and just kind of work them around, but don't put too much pressure on it. You don't want to stab your chicken and all those juices come out. Alright, so there you go. Then we have our nice serving dish. Just take your wings and just pile them in. No lettuce, no cabbage, no garnish, because there is no garnish in football. And there you go. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'm Chef Matt Pregene. Click to subscribe for more videos like these from Payless.